What's up, everybody? Unrested back here again, and I've got kind of an update on that whole e-begging video I made yesterday. Um, it kind of led to a realization of something else that was connected to it, and it was something I had learned about a while back, probably about like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's actually happened way longer ago than that, but I didn't learn about it until a couple weeks ago. Apparently concerning Quickrhino, who, first of all, let me just start this video by saying, if you don't know who Quickrhino is, he's a J-vlogger he's pretty popular. I think he's got way more subs than me. He might have like 30,000 subs. Is it 30,000? It might be 300,000. I think he's really popular. I think he actually has his subs turned off right now, so there's no way you can see how many he has, but he's pretty popular. And he doesn't actually live in Japan. He lives in the States and was planning on coming to Japan. He had done a GoFundMe in order to get here, which was made public. I'm not giving away any private information. It was a public GoFundMe, which I'm sure you can still find cached on the internet at any point. He raised, I think, I don't know the total amount. I'm gonna say I think it was around $3,000, but don't quote me on that. It might have been less. It might have been more. But I'm thinking it was around $3,000 for a round-trip ticket, if I believe correctly. And I'm sure it probably covered some other expenses too. Like, you can't just move to Japan on just a plane ticket and come with no spending money. You would be in trouble. He had a job interview lined up, and that's why he planned the trip. He planned to come here. We actually talked for a bit and talked about doing some collab stuff. He talked to Victor from Give Me a Break, Give Me a Flake Band, and a couple other J-vloggers. We were really excited to have him come here. But apparently things didn't work out. Now, that's not saying anything against his character. I think the guy's a good guy. From the little bit I did talk to him online, he seemed like a very nice guy. He seemed to genuinely be excited to come here, had everything planned, ready to go. But apparently the interview he had fell through. From what I understand, it was only one interview set up and it fell through, and then he canceled the whole trip, and it was a non-refundable ticket, so he hasn't paid back any of the money that he got from the GoFundMe. Although really, with the way GoFundMe works, he's not liable to pay all that money back. I know it does suck for the people who paid for him to come here and wanted to see the videos that he would make and the life he would live and kind of explore Japan vicariously through his experience, and that's kind of what they paid for, that they're not getting their money back. But really, I mean, that is one of the risks of like Indiegogo, Kickstarter, GoFundMe, and it says that when you donate, that although you are choosing to donate, you are not 100% guaranteed any sort of product or final result or anything. And sadly it's happened many times. Of course, some people have lost a lot more than others, but it's kind of something in this case where that happened due to unfortunate circumstances, not necessarily someone trying to do something deceiving. And that's connected kind of to why a lot of people were angry about my e-begging video yesterday, about how I had a friend who wanted to come to Japan, and I was asking for him. I was pushing his GoFundMe, and people were like, flew off the handle. Some people got like super angry. I got messages afterwards with like, sorry I got so angry, but here's the reason I donated to the Quickrhino thing, and he never came here, and now I'm seeing this start all over again with another person, and I'm just burned because of that. And then I started to get more and more emails about that, and I realized, oh, so this is kind of somewhat connected to the Quickrhino situation. And so people started to ask me to comment on, like, what do you personally think about that? Well, like I said, I mean, I think, first of all, the guy's a good guy. I think he seriously just got stuck with an unfortunate situation. I will say, I feel like his 59-second video wasn't a good enough explanation. Like, he just kind of gave everyone less than a minute explanation as to why he wasn't going. And there's a few things I'm confused by, and this may just be because his video is so short, in which case he either needs to make a longer video or there's more we're not hearing about. If you set up an interview in Japan, there is always the chance that it could get turned down. So to rely on just one interview to come to Japan and start a life is a little bit risky unless you've already been offered that job. If you're going to come to this country and only expect to interview for one job and get that one job, that is a pretty unreliable situation. You know, I don't know if maybe he did have other interviews he didn't talk about and all of those got canceled too, or if he put all his cards into just this interview. And that's the problem with only having a 59-second video explaining this, is that I don't know the full story. Now, I'm not going to judge because, like I just said, I don't know the full story, but I am going to say what I understand from the little bit of information I've been given, and this is just my perspective of this. At the same time, why he would cancel his trip after not getting the one interview, I'm not understanding that either, because if you don't get the interview, you can still come to Japan and apply to other jobs on a tourist visa. There used to be a time in the past where you could not do that, or it was a little bit risky to do so, but visa rules have changed. You can come to Japan on a tourist visa, apply to jobs. If you get the job, you can stay in Japan and then get your work visa. You can have your tourist visa changed to a work visa. So I'm unsure as to why he didn't just try to do that afterwards. I do understand how a non-refundable ticket works, where if you cancel the flight, you just can't get your money back, and that is very possible. That's exactly what happened, but I don't understand why you wouldn't just go no matter what. If it was a job interview, that means you didn't actually have any secure income before you were going, so nothing's changed. You're going to Japan with no secure income. Hopefully that means you've saved up a little bit, because even if you did come here and 100% get the job, you'd still have to wait a month or 2 months sometimes to get your first paycheck. So if you were hoping for that to cover your expenses as soon as you got here, that's really risky too. So there's, like I said, a lot left unexplained in that 59-second video. And then after that, he's turned off all the comments on his site. You can't comment. Comments are disabled. Subscription is disabled as far as like seeing how many subscribers he has. I imagine some people left. I can understand why they're angry. Like I said, you know, I think his explanation of 59 seconds might not have been enough. I'm not judging him on that because, like I said, I don't know the full story, so please don't quote me as saying I'm angry or anything like that at Quickrhino. I still think he's a good guy. I still think he just had an unfortunate situation. But I can see from the perspective of the viewers who wrote me angry about the new GoFundMe that I started to help my friend get to Japan, why they feel burned from that and don't want to help mine. And to those people who do feel burned from that, I'm sorry you do, and I understand why. And now that they've sent me those explanations due to the Quickrhino incident, I totally understand more. It makes a lot more sense, and I think it's really good when fans communicate like that, like why they're feeling a certain way or why something you've done has angered them, or something in their past experience with another YouTuber makes them wary of something you're doing as a YouTuber, because it gives you more experience of how you should structure your own videos, things you should talk about in the future, subjects that might be too controversial, or things where you need to either step lightly or make sure you're minding everybody's feelings when you're talking about them. That was just one of those situations. So now that everything's kind of explained to me, of course, no hard feelings with anyone at all. I don't think I even need to apologize. I think what we have now is a total agreement that we see eye to eye as to why both of us have our own views as far as viewers out there. And as for the Quickrhino thing, again, guys, he just got stuck in an unfortunate situation. I think give him some time. Let him come down from this disappointment. He's definitely disappointed. Anybody would be if they got stuck in the same situation as him. Think of it as like you just broke up with a girlfriend you were crazy in love with, or a boyfriend you were crazy in love with, or you just had a loved one die. Imagine that kind of depression that you're feeling there. He might be feeling something of equal depressive type value. I mean, it's, you know, some people be like, it's not the same thing. I can't believe you would compare it to that. But for some people, that kind of stuff is. There's different events in people's life that, you know, throw them a crushing blow just as hard as something like a death or a bad breakup. So you've got to understand that. You've got to give some people some time to recover from that, and then I think a little bit after we may see a more detailed explanation. Until next time, I am Unrested. If you like what you saw here today, please like, comment, and subscribe.